Welcome back to Speedrun version of Advanced Developments, the podcast where we cover the changes that have occurred during the last session of our weekly Thursday game. This time we won't look into detail into every nation, but instead I'll just give a quick overview over what happened in the last session. Well, not much changed with Croatia. We had a rule change before the session that forbid him to have Vermont as a tributary because he is a great power. And that messed things up in a war against Khmer. But he still has Zealandia, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he does. And, well, now he's pouring a lot of resources and a lot of development into Zealandia, which makes this probably the strongest Zealandia I've ever seen. Okay, Andalusia. Didn't think much was going on for Andalusia, really. He ended up at war with Great Britain over a bit of land. He conquered a bit of land in Italy too. Also, he's in some sort of a conflict with Franconia and Switzerland because he helped Inca conquer this land, and well, that wasn't something that Switzerland really appreciated happening. Yeah, but generally speaking, I think Andalusia mostly stagnated. He does have a lot of stuff standing around right now, so he might be gearing up to do something. But yeah, Britain is protecting the straits here, so I don't see them really crossing into Gibraltar. We do see Andalusia building transport ships though, so it will be interesting to see what he's planning. Could be some sort of sunset invasion happening, depending on Maya coming into this war. So maybe Maya will crack open Britain's fleet, and then we'll see a sunset invasion into, not really sunset, but an invasion into GB. I could see that happening. Okay, Songhai. I don't think anything happened in Songhai. Moving on, Mutapa. I think it is Zim. Yeah, there we go. I'm also not sure if anything happened here. I can't see his troops. Where are his troops? Oh, yeah, right. He conquered India. So, yeah, that's the rundown for Mutapa. He conquered India. Also, apparently, Arabia. That's interesting. Okay, let's go over to Rum and see what he's doing. Well, right now he's in a war against Prussia, but he kind of broke the rules with that, so he will be out of that momentarily. It probably shouldn't take that long. And yeah, well then he's sitting around again. I don't see him attacking anything. I don't think he expanded anywhere really, so not much to change with Rum. Let's hop over to Spain. I think we didn't cover Spain. He's in a war against Franconia. That they started there the war before against Westphalia about this land, and Franconia enforced peace in a very unopportune moment for them. So, yeah, now they attacked Franconia as a kind of retaliation against that. And you see a battle happening shortly here. It will be interesting to see. There were some rule breaks in this war too. Not entirely sure what's going to happen. I could see either side winning in these battles. It seems like I don't know what this is from Franconia. We'll see when we go over to Franconia. But yeah, Spain in a big war. Let's go over to the opposite side of that. Actually, there's a lot of stuff coming in. Yeah, so kind of looking okay-ish for Switzerland here. Franconia, I'd say, even if a lot of land is sieged down. Franconian capital of Paris, because he used to be France. Yeah, I think it could still go either way. I didn't see much of a reason why it shouldn't. Let's see how Franconia is doing while we're at it. Alright, it's this. It's building more troops, sending his troops in that. I think this battle is looking good if you compare quality. Yeah, they do have the better quality, do have better morale, and they have better tactics. So I don't see real reasons why they would be losing up here. Unless Spain sends over more troops, which they maybe could. Like, I think their quality should be comparable to that of Franconia. So I could see Spain being able to send in more stacks. Like maybe that 80k could come over here and help. Although there are also more troops coming from Switzerland. So yeah, that battle could go either way. That battle could go either way. And I think that could be pretty deciding for this war, because then you start getting into the heartland of both countries. That would really hurt them if they fell. Let's see how Bavaria is doing in this. Well, he's just fighting. Doesn't have many troops. I think it's still probably the weakest nation in all of Europe. But he is contributing, he's trying. Not sure if this stack is going to the northern or the southern battle, but yeah, I think it's hard to call now what's going to happen. Could go either way. Okay, Britain is in this war with Andalusia. Actually, it's a British crusade, so he started this war. What is it about? Yeah, well, I mean, it's a crusade. It doesn't really have a war goal. It's a bit of a weird one, honestly, because I don't see how this is going to end. But, well, we are going to see. Like, Britain has expanded into the Mediterranean a bit during the last sessions. So maybe there's something he's planning. He's also did call in Ruthenia. And there are Ruthenian troops over in Iberia. So maybe something could be happening there. Is he building anything that... He is building transport ships, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that should be transports, right? Trabakul, yeah, that's a transport ship. Okay, well, it seems like both sides are building transport ships. Will be interesting to see what everyone will use them for. I was wondering if they couldn't just get access in through Rum and walk here. Like, this doesn't seem that overwhelming if you bring Ruthenia. Well, maybe it is, maybe it is. Just checking. I think Inca is not in this war, right? Yeah, no, he isn't. Okay, let's go over to Westphalia. He's also at war. That's the other big conflict of this session. He's part of a war against my Sweden together with Prussia. This time I barely had any friends when this started because they bullied people out before the war started, and then like I got very siege down. As you can probably tell, Sweden is like 95% siege down, but people enforced peace on my side, and now I have Vermont helping me and Rum, although Rum will have to peace out, and I think Zealandia is also here. Yeah, you see Zealandian troops around here. So yeah, not exactly tragic, the situation in in Sweden. It's not that yet, but it's not looking great. I am building... Actually, we can just go over to Sweden, I think. Like, Westphalia is still the nation it used to be last session. I am building more mercs. As you can see, like, this is a huge merc stack. I got, like, as you can expect, if I get pushed all the way down to here, I got my entire army stack wiped. Actually, I control Göingen. That's interesting in terms of recruiting new stuff. I should keep that in mind. Actually, are there even still merc companies I could be getting? I mean, I could be getting a merc company in Göingen. That would be interesting. Yeah, so as you see, it doesn't look good, but it's also not over yet. There could still be... There's still some hope. Also because of Zealandia, I now have naval supremacy back in this region, which actually would be nice if Zealandia would be projecting that a bit more. We could see that happening. But yeah, will be interesting to see. Like, it's a tough spot to be in, obviously, and I'm losing a lot of money, but it could still be saved, I think. So we'll see how the war goes. I mean, looking at Prussia, there are some sieges down here, but as we said, Rom will have to peace out soon, so that's going to be over. And yeah, other than that, he's just sending in a lot of troops. Actually, let's check our... I mean, there are some mercs within this. Yeah, I mean, there are merc stacks. He just lost the battle there, but there's another one going on there that we will lose. And there are a lot of troops coming from Westphalia. So, yeah, it's definitely not an easy turnaround, even if we get to it. It's funny that you didn't take this. You would think you would be taking Miltech if you're in the middle of a big war. I think I probably did. Wait, that's not me. Yeah, I have the Miltech, so I guess that gives us a bit of an advantage against Prussia, but yeah, well, he can take it whenever he wants. God, what was it? Didn't I just go in there? Yeah, oh, it's West, right? Yeah. Okay, he is the tech too. Okay. And like the last thing that's basically part of this war would be Vermont. Oh, that's Verden. Well, what's the tag of Vermont then? The tag of Vermont is Vrum. Let's see how Vrum is doing. I mean, there are still tons of troops inside of Vrum mainland, but they aren't really getting over to us, which is a bit of a problem. Like, I think he sent his troops from Vermont and Manchuria, from over here, and they walked all the way while my nation was getting sieged down. But with the amount of troops he has here, it's I'm not convinced we're going to win. But maybe he's going to send some more until it's balanced out. That would be fun. Let's look at Zealandia too, while we're at it. I mean, we did have a quick peek at Zealandia, but we didn't really have a peek at it in the context of this war. So yeah, there's one army over here, and then all our armies are here. I mean, some more could be transported over. That definitely is a thing. So where are the fleets? Okay, one transport fleet is here, blocking the straits, and okay. Well, I mean, yeah, there could be more troops pouring over, maybe even transporting Vermonter stacks. That would be interesting, because obviously Vermont has... Actually, does Vermont even have better quality? I'm not even sure. But definitely Zealandia could be bringing in more good troops into this. Okay, let's check out, I think Ruthenia would make sense, what he's doing. I mean, yeah, we checked it briefly. He's in this war with Andalusia. I think that's enough to cover this, and let's go over to Russia. There was an unsuccessful war against Russia. I think it was in the beginning of the session from me, because I thought I could be winning there, but turns out I wasn't. And yeah, well, now Russia is just sitting here, building up manpower actually, having 1 million manpower now, so getting less irrelevant. Props to him on that. Maybe still build a fort once he can afford it. But yeah, with the money from Lübeck, Russia's really looking up now. Like, having made that deal with Lübeck was probably the best call of this game. He's now swimming in money and has a lot of stuff to work with in his country. Okay, let's see what Persia's doing. I mean, he is in another war against Timurids, it seems like. Yeah, and I don't think Timurids will stand much of a chance. It's just a move to the east for Timurids here. Persia keeps pushing in and taking more land. Yeah, but I mean, it's also not that bad for Timurids, because he basically recovers his losses down here. Oh, that's funny how the nations in India are still not that, but just split up between other guys. Actually, if Mutapa is coming from the south now, though, like, Timurids could get squashed in between Persia and Mutapa, which is an interesting situation to be looking at. Actually, we can have a look at Timurids. That is not Timurids. Let's check again. Well, man, that battle could actually be less of a pre-decided one than I thought. So, well, good luck for the battle to both sides. And let's go over to Nepal. Yeah, who was formed by Bengal last session. He's now saving a bit of money. And that's what we're going to say about that nation. Let's go over to Tibet. Rushing through it a bit. There were more wars between Manchu and Tibet, I think. If I'm not mistaken, Tibet lost the war that happened. But don't quote me on that. It's hard to see Asia while you're being beaten up by other guys. But yeah, I mean, people are trying around this region to stabilize a bit. A lot of wars have happened. And I think Tibet is probably at the end of what it can do, really. Like, Manchu is now the one that's scaling into insanity with the development up in the steppes. There's a lot of development in those steppes. I think, yeah, another steppe region here that's still being devved up. Yeah, a lot of development, a lot of good troops for Manchu. I think he's doing very well with his brewery. It's called Trappist. That's interesting. It's a monastic order. It used to be this, yeah, it's this brewery thing, which is interesting. Okay, let's go over to Khmer. Well, I mean, he's still looking strong. He had some trouble with the natives, but I think that's mostly over now, and he's still a strong nation. Madhya's. I don't think anything happened in Madhya's, honestly. I looked at Zealand 2 times now, so let's not do that again, and let's go over to Japan, who is still very much sitting around like he used to. And I don't think actually anything changed in the setup of his borders. He does have a lot of manpower, though, and I think actually his development is also sizable. Yeah, so actually could be somewhat of a late starter. If he starts doing stuff now, that could be interesting. See allied to anyone? To Matthias, I guess. Well, I mean, it would be interesting to see what GMG is planning to do, because his nation is finally in shape to actually do stuff, so you might want to try that. Ideas-wise, he did go for maritime, interestingly, but he still has competent military ideas, so there are things to do for him. Okay, Texas, who used to be Blackfoot, and he got rid of the face, which is very, very sad. I think you can still see him actually colonizing the face provinces. Yeah, that was the face. You see the eyes. How dare he? Sadly, I can't recall and cancel at the same time before pausing. But yeah, get your face back, dude. Like, it was the one thing that made your country special. How dare you let it go away? Okay, I mean, Texas, generally speaking, is doing well. I don't think he's been doing much this game, honestly, other than colonizing. Next one would be Iroquois. He's in the war in France, if I'm not mistaken. And from what I can tell, seems to be doing okay at that. Like, it's far away from his homeland. What should be happening? We did have a quick peek at Maya already. Let's look at Cuba for a second. Cuba appears to be doing fine. And Inca, as we saw, is involved in wars in Andalusia. Oh, actually, we have stuff siege down inside Inca. Oh, so that's what the transport ships are about. Now, that's interesting. So the Cuban fleet has gotten him supremacy to land troops in the Incan mainland. That's something aside to see. So it's a crusade against Andalusia, but Inca could be forcing... Like, Inca could be forced out of that, and then it's just Andalusia. That's very interesting, actually. I don't know what Inca is supposed to be doing against that, because his entire army appears to be in Andalusia. Is he building any armies to... Okay, he's building a stack of cannons, and then maybe some mercs, and it could be fine. Well, that would be interesting to see if GP manages to siege in all of Inca now. Okay, I think that covers all nations of this game, and thank you for watching. Next session could be a bit of a longer one again, if we remember to do it.